YouTube! ¿Qué pasa? Welcome back to another Bleach Brave Souls video on my channel. Thanks for joining as always. And as you can see, we are at the Guild Central Station at the moment. And what does that mean? I am going to talk about in this video, or basically, let's put it like that, I'm going to start a little video series because the requests did come in quite frequently. If I couldn't just make a few videos or one video for which units are the best for each of the guild quest weeks. So we have different guild quest weeks for the different attributes and affiliation. So we have no affiliation guild quest week, we have a Sparta, we have Captain, we have Soul Reaper, we have Hollow, and then we have also within that week, 2 different weeks. So we have melee hollow week and ranged hollow week. So there are different units that are ideally to be used in order to clear a certain week with the certain requirements. So say, for example, you're going to use this TYBW Eisen as a side unit in ranged Aranka week. Right, can you use him also in melee Aranka week? That's the question we're going to go through in this video today. I will not go in one video about all the weeks because that's just going to make a video like over an hour long. It's just way too long. I'm going to split up. So today I'm going to go over no affiliation ranged and no affiliation melee week. So the best characters you can choose for both of those weeks. And that's what this video is going to be about. So let's dive right into this. So let's start with ranged actually. So I got this little screenshot right there. Let's just make that a bit larger. Right, I'll push that out to the front. So let's remove the Bleach gameplay from behind that. Or let's just leave it blended in. Doesn't even matter. So all right, I'm gonna do it like this. So I actually got this from one of the guys from my Discord. So shout out at this point. And this is actually very, very good to get an overview over which units you can use for the certain weeks. And I'm gonna explain it a bit thoroughly, but I'm not gonna go into the skills of each of the characters. So let's start with SAD leads, strong attack damage leads. What does that mean? That's basically the unit, the character you want to use actually in Guild Quest. So in Guild Quest, it's usually like that. You have one main character you are controlling and 2 side units. Those 2 side units are actually like bots. Like you don't play with them. They're just there. They're attacking and doing their skills and everything, but you don't have no influence over what they can do. And you don't, you can't move them around or anything. So that's one thing to note when you're playing Guild Quest. Maybe somebody's watching this video playing Guild Quest for the first time, or maybe somebody's trying to clear hard Guild Quest. So this is going to be the perfect video for you. Right, the best strong attack damage lead unit for no affiliation ranged unit is obviously TYBW Ichigo. Since this character came out, no affiliation ranged week is so easy. Like this character at 105 can clear it solo. Before I had him, I used actually Christmas Noel, who is 3rd in his list. But with Christmas Noel, it was very, very tedious. Second up, it would be Geen, White Day Geen. I actually have him as well. I never actually tried him in Guild Quest Ranged No Affiliation Week because I never worked on him. But yeah, in the future, I might give it a shot and see how he performs. But better than Ichigo will not be because Ichigo has Frenzy +2. It's just such an OP character, like really so OP. Next up, it would be obviously Noelle, like I've talked about. If she has at 505, she can literally almost nuke that week. But at 105, 205, I've heard people saying she can solo it. I really find it difficult playing with her in that specific week. Why? Because I don't know. I don't really like her kit. Yes, she has good skills, but yeah, it's just another example of another bad super pop character in my opinion. But at the time when she dropped first, she was obviously the first character to get the 80% plus spiritual pressure boost when enemies being inflicted with stats aimment. So definitely still a good unit, but in my opinion, falling a bit short nowadays. Next up would be Christmas Toshiro. Christmas Toshiro is actually very good for this week if you have nothing else, but not really desirable. Then it would be this Kisuke. I believe this was the Arena Kisuke. Not really a favorite. And then last but not least, Artbook Ichigo of the first row. Artbook Ichigo, I used him before I had Christmas Noel. And actually, with Artbook Ichigo, I found it easier to clear than with Noel. That's just me. Next up would be Uryu, 7th anniversary Uryu. With 7th anniversary Uryu, I struggled quite a bit since he doesn't have freeze immunity, which is the first problem. And giving him something to resist to freeze immunity means I would have to like sacrifice some damage output, which I didn't like. So playing with ranged with 7th anniversary Uryu was really hard. Nozomi is another one if you have nothing else, and last but not least, Speed Toshiro, OG Speed Toshiro. Those two, Nozomi and Toshiro, are like if you have really nothing else, but it's gonna be a really hard run with those two units. But if you have TYW Ichigo, Gin, or Noel, you are good to go. Next up, we're gonna go over the nut boost. So what are those? Those are the boost units that boost your that have a boost mechanic on their SA2 usually, and those units will boost your side units and will give them a little damage boost. First up, it would be Swimsuit Momo. Swimsuit Momo is actually the best since she also has 100% freeze immunity. I actually don't have her, so I can't really say if she's that good. But I've seen people play with her and reporting that she's really good for that week. So yeah, that's basically Momo. Next up, it would be Masaki. I'm also missing her. She's also very good for this week since she also has freeze immunity, and she is also a very hard hitting unit. Nevertheless, I don't have her, so I can't put any testimony on her. For that specific week, Soyphone is also on spot number 3. So Soyphone can also be used as a boost unit. Even though she is melee, she has multi-barrier and boost on SA2, which makes her actually even more useful than other boost units, which would be off spec, for example. Then for strong attack damage boost, obviously 3rd anniversary Ulquiorra would be one of the best choices. He has barrier, the old barrier where you get like 3 barriers on Ulquiorra and 1 barrier on each other character. And he does have boost on his SA2. However, even though I have him 505 max transcended, he didn't perform too well as a side unit. Made a difference of 5 seconds clearance, minus 5 seconds clearance, let's put it like that. So yeah, but that's basically another option you have if you're like missing those 3 nut boosts and you're choosing a strong attack damage boost, or you want to go a full, because you could also opt out to choose a full strong attack damage unit. I mean, team. I mean, Guild Quest is not always a strict format where you have to choose a strong attack damage lead, a nut boost, or a boost unit generally, and a side nut unit. Yes, that's the most optimal way, but you could also opt out to go, for example, for a full SP team, or for like 2 SP units and 1 strong attack damage boost, for example, like this 3rd anniversary Ulquiorra. And that would be something, if you like having all of those units 5/5, you're opting out to clear it even faster and maybe trying to nuke it if you have the right characters and the right equipment. That could be one way of doing it. But that's another topic. We're not going to dive into that right now. Now, next up would be the nut bots. Basically, your nut side units you want to choose. So you have your strong attack damage lead. For example, your optimal team would look like TYW Ichigo, Swimsuit Momo, and then you want to go for a nut side units. Basically, a nut bot from those ones listed here. So the most optimal one would be this Kagorosa. I'm missing him. Me personally, I use for that week a White Spirit Society Ichigo. He performs insanely good for me personally. But Kagorosa has built-in freeze immunity, which makes him actually the best nut side unit you can choose for that certain week. If you're missing him, you could choose any of the other 3. Or most optimal would also be Jushiro, Safui Jushiro. I tried him as well, and he performed very, very good. Apart from him, you could choose TBW Aizen or any of the other units you see right there. They would also opt in all right if you don't have nothing better than them. Then on top of this, you have certain units which are 30% boost, and of those, this Yiwach is actually the one I use. So my team is usually TYW Ichigo, Yiwach, and either White Ichigo or Jushiro. So I'm playing around with both of them as the third unit, but that's my optimal team. When I get Luna Rukia, I probably use her instead because she has also freeze immunity, even though she's a Ronka killer. Nevertheless, makes these units very good boost units since they have the highest boost output in the game right now. So all of these units boost for 30%. I believe with Swimsuit Momo, it was only 25%. Correct me if I'm wrong. If anyone knows the correct percentage number for the boost for Swimsuit Momo, Masaki, and Safui Soifan, then do drop a comment down below. And that's basically the most optimal list and most optimal characters for ranged no affiliation. Obviously, there is a few other units you could also use instead of the ones shown here. This is just like a simple guide to which characters are the most appropriate in that order. And that's basically no affiliation ranged week done. Right, next up, we're going to go over Melee No Affiliation Week. And let's get into this. Let me make this a bit bigger. Right, so No Affiliation Melee Week is basically the counterpart to Range No Affiliation Week. So a few similarities, as you can see already from the character choices right here. Some of them are very similar, and some of them, the orders have been changed around. So let's jump right into this. So optimal strong attack damage lead, again, would be TYBW Ichigo. Why TYBW Ichigo? Since he has Marauder, he's also able to compete in ranged and melee no affiliation week, which makes him the best choice for both of those weeks. He also has status immunity, shared status immunity, which makes it basically the best lead unit for that specific week too. Next up would be Artbook Ichigo, and I actually used Artbook Ichigo before I got TYBW Ichigo, and Artbook Ichigo performed very, very good since he also has complete status immunity. However, since TYBW Ichigo dropped, I believe most of the other units dropped short. Before, I even used to try tag team Soifon and Yoroichi since I have them max transcended, and even they performed good, but I believe it's only because they were max transcended. If they are like a 105, 205, yeah, you're going to be struggling with that specific week. Third would be 7th Uryu. Uryu is amazing, still in my opinion, the second best speed unit in the game, right after the new renewed Ulquiorra version. But nevertheless, the best one would be Ichigo, and then obviously you have a few other units you could choose if you're missing those, including the Moonlight Rebellion Gin, which I've seen actually in one gameplay played actually very good at max transcendence. So yeah, that's another choice you could make if you're missing anything from the better ones. Next up, the nut boosts are exactly the same as ranged no affiliation. However, the order has changed since Safui Soifon is nut melee unit. She's actually at spot number 1, and that's actually the unit I am using for that specific week. So my personal team is TYBW Ichigo, Soifon, and White Ichigo. That's basically my team I'm running this week with, and it's easy, really easy, like clearing in 15 seconds very, very nicely. Next up, Swimsuit Momo. And then again, Masaki, even though she's ranged, she's there to boost. That's basically her main role in that specific week. Next up, strong attack damage boost, unchanged to ranged strong attack, to ranged no affiliation. Strong attack damage boost is got to be 3rd anniversary Ulquiorra. Again, if you have this character, Max Transcendence 505, this character would actually perform very well. You may have to try it and see if you want to try running a full SP team, for example. Like I said, that's one choice you could be making. If you have your whole team max transcendent, you might even end up getting like a sub 10, sub 7 seconds run. So that remains to be seen. Drop a comment down below at this point. Let me know what your teams are, because I really like to tweak around and try new teams, even with characters that aren't on this list. I like to see what other people use to clear certain weeks. Really interesting. Next up, nut boosts, nut bots. It's got to be the first one, White Ichigo, Spirit Society White Ichigo. This character is actually insane, and in my opinion, the best side nut unit for Melee No Affiliation Week. Really good character. Next up, it's got to be the Heart Kisuke, the one that's recently released. Also very good. Then Moe and Kagerosa. Moe is actually also very good if you're missing any of the other characters, but preferably not White Ichigo, since his SA2 is also very, very good. Then again, off spec 30% boosts. You could choose the new Yiwach, Chad, Shinji, or the new Christmas Yoroichi. She's also good. Or Luna Rukia. Those are the units you could be using. Yiwach is the best for this week since he also has a good crowd control on his SA2. But nevertheless, if you have Safui, Soifon, she's the better choice. Off boosts would be the best TYBW Aizen. I actually want to try Aizen on the next upcoming no affiliation melee week, since I have a max transcended with 3-star SP, with 3-star attack. So I actually want to see how he actually performs. It would be really interesting. I might even make a video on it, see how he performs. Apart from that, you could use Chad, PvP Tsukishima, also a good side of spec boost unit. And yeah, as all the other ones which are shown here, you can also try and work if you're missing something better than them. Then obviously at times you're missing all the optimal strong attack damage leads. Then for this specific week in this list, there are some off leads which you could use even though they're off killer. So number one spot's gotta be TYW Yama. This character, if he has 5 or 5 max transcendent, he probably could still nuke at third wave onwards. So you might have to try play with him. Next up would be 7th Ichigo. Then it would be Safui, Urara, Kisuke, then Aizen, and then the new Ulquiorra, Byakuya, and Roka. Those are the units you could use if you're missing off leads. And I would even say the same units you see right here, you can also use for ranged and no affiliation week, especially Yama, since he has Marauder, and 7th anniversary Ichigo is obviously ranged, and the other units are also good to go for range no affiliation week if you're missing like the optimal strong attack damage lead units. And that basically is the list for no affiliation melee guild quest week. Now let me know what you guys think about this video format. Like, am I going too fast with going over these characters, or would you like a more detailed prescription of the different characters which I've just shown there? Bearing in mind, if I do that, the video is gonna go way longer than it's already at. Believe you're like at 20 minutes now. So yeah, but anyways, this is melee and range no affiliation week. I will be making a video series on this topic, so I will be starting with no affiliation melee range like I did today, and then I'll see what I do next. I might even do Soul Reaper or Hollow, or maybe Espada, since Espada is a week where a lot of people are struggling. So yeah, drop a comment down below and let me know how you think, what you think about this video. And as always, don't forget to smash the like button. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys next time.